Moving on to a major story from today, as time and time again I've told you how easy it is to game our immigration system. And though the biggest problem we've got in immigration in this country is not the people coming on small boats, but the people coming legally to supposedly study here and supposedly work here. They've only just been told now they can't bring their dependents, but they've been bringing dependents for years and years and years, 1.2 million last year. And it turns out many of them are going to work in places that aren't there.
Yeah. No, it's a complete shambles, Mike. You've got to maintain border control and word gets round. So the channel migrant thing is a really big problem. And the government panics post-COVID and just opens the floodgates, basically. And you've had over 100,000 people coming in. And you've had more than that in terms of their dependents and relatives. The whole system is a shambles. And as this latest report's shown, a lot of people have just gone missing.
It is. But the problem here, it seems to me, William, is that people are coming into Britain for any number of reasons, but generally speaking, not to do what they say they're going to do. They need to have a licence to run a care home. In various licences that have been applied for in this situation, they've put down how many employees they have. And in one case, 4 was the number. And yet they got something like 1,500 visas for people to go and work there. I mean, who's checking the actual figures here?
Yeah, that's a shambles because the government can't be bothered to plan anything, can't be bothered to train young people and match demand for labour to supply. It's as simple as that. They don't have ID checks and people are free to go where they like. But the problem with that is if you have people abusing it and coming in, they just go AWOL. And we got used to this open labour market. I'd argue from a position on the left that it was bad for the workers because basically it disincentivized training and it put wages down. It was crazy. I mean, it was never in our interest to do this.
What happens by bringing in a lot of new people who are prepared to do it for a low wage, because it's better than they'd earn in the poorer countries they come from, is it keeps wages low. 8 out of 10 care worker jobs are actually performed by British people.
Yeah.
The thing is, you bring these people over to do the job. As we know, there are abuses that are going on. You know, the jobs that don't exist.
Yeah.
There's
well,
also
the care homes that don't exist.
The care homes that don't exist. There's been examples of modern slavery, and they've been allowed to bring in family dependents and work dependents, which means that the actual workers are the minority of these non-EU immigration numbers in the last several years. So if we actually trained and paid British people more to do these jobs that they do want to do, we'd have a better long-term functioning economy.
Yeah.
This issue really started sort of post-Brexit when the immigration system was reformed, and it was reformed into a points-based system, which was actually very lax.
Right.
You've actually seen, of the 1.2 million people that we've seen come into the country over the last couple of years, 875,000 of those have been non-EU migrants, so mainly from South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. The government has effectively opened the floodgates because for decades we've been happy to get drunk or to feed businesses this low-skilled, low-cost labour. They're not even checking if they're actually studying as well.
No,
No checks.
No.
And then many of them, again, just disappear. We don't know whether they're still here. We don't know what they're doing. If they are still here, we don't know how many people from their families they brought with them.
I'm just talking about probably what concerns me the most, which is social integration and social cohesion.
Yeah.
I mean, in December, you had groups of, I think it was Eritreans protesting in Camberwell in South London. I mean, a Met police officer was hospitalised because of those riots. You actually think, what are the values that these people are bringing over? I mean, look at the people shouting, like, you know, anti-Semitic, hateful things on the streets of London. Or, you know, it's affecting how we fundamentally live. And this is one of the effects of the government opening the floodgates.
I see people in Leicester, for example, fighting each other because of some, you know, difference of opinion on the Indian subcontinent, and you're a white person in Leicester, you're going to go, what the hell is going on?